Nigga, I'm from Pakoima. Nigga, I'm from Pakoima. Nigga, I'm from Pakoima. Nigga, I'm from Pakoima. Oh, a lot of niggas gon' get it. I taught them how to crease up khakis and rock fitteds.
Perspective. Of course, we got me, KeyStone, we got RedBone, we got the Prince of the City, and today we got a special guest, man. Salute to the OG, man. Rambo in the house, man. We finally got him. So, you know, he came in, he came to chop it up with us. He came to chop it up with us today. What's up?
He wanted I'm one of the Pakoima VIPs. You know, I ain't the most valuable player, but I'm the most versatile player.
Hey, you gotta give him that. You gotta give him that, man. You gotta give him that. We was just talking about it, man. You don't know what circle you might see Rambo pop up in, man. He be kind of everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
That nigga, hey, that nigga got the red carpet everywhere.
For real though.
Man, I was telling Rambo, man, I remember you. I used to be when I was a kid in the field more. I remember you coming through, man. I know your brother, at least somebody was on a beach cruiser. You say you was on a moped, but I know somebody was on a beach cruiser, and y'all used to be coming in there, man. I'm pretty sure y'all was hustling or had something going on up in there, man. So I was, so how did that come to play, man? How did y'all end up over there?
Well, it was both the moped and the beach cruiser. It was whatever my brother wasn't using that day, I was able to use. But it was my brother, man. He came home one day and told me he had a spot cracking over there. And my family actually grew up with Odell up at the Terrace. My uncle and them all went to school with him, so we had been knowing him since a kid. So when my brother figured out what was going on over there, he just bogarted his way in. And
man.
I thought it was gonna be a puzzle, but it was a cakewalk. It was smooth.
Hey, look, if you grew up in the Fillmores, especially if you was in my age group, Odell's pad. If you playing ball and your ball rolled over there by Odell pad, you had to go grab that mug quick and get away from over there because it was a lot going on over there. Your mama catch you around that door, you started to get whooped in front of everybody.
Man,
so
that was the party house for sure.
Oh my God. Yeah, I never went on the inside, but it was so a lot of traffic on the outside. I'll tell you that much. So yeah,
what year, Stone? What year was
that's
this?
The little homie's uncle. That's the little homie's
By
uncle.
what year? By what year was this?
Man, 85, 86.
Okay.
It could have been before that, man, because we was probably, like I say, probably like
it was about 85, 86, because it was right towards the end of high school. Beginning like the end of high school going on. That's when it really cracked on that tip for me.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we used to be up in there, and then y'all knew, like I say, y'all knew my boy, man, Twan. That was like my shit. We was right and left arm back then, man. So we was always together. So and it was a trip, y'all used to chop it up with him, and then he would come back to me, and he had all his, man, we was in the nines doing this and that, and man, look, he used to get at me real like, man, I think we supposed to be bloods, man. He used to be getting at me like that. And I'd be like, for real? Like, yeah, man, we not from Watts. Like, that's how when we first started like getting that understanding, like we not from Watts, and that was coming from you and your brother getting that twine that way, man. So that shit.
And Disco Briscoe, yeah.
Disco Briscoe, yep. So that was always cool, man. So that's when I first knew of he used to call you Robbie. It was Boo and Robbie. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So he was always talking about y'all, man. So but you and Squeak tripped me out. Y'all got a special relationship, man. Y'all like a father-son thing. So So you peeped Squeak when he was a little bitty dude, huh?
That's my prodigal son. You know, like
Real.
I say, look, my oldest son, because Squeak was with me so much. Squeak and Tone Bone used to be with me a lot. Little Tony Sharp.
Real.
And which I just got off the phone with the homie about 30 minutes ago. But
With Tom
they
Bone?
used to, yeah, I just got off the phone. He just called to check up on me. You know, he do that from time to time. That's my boy. That's like a son too. But see,
Free the
Wow.
homie.
I
Free
used
the
to keep I
homie.
used to keep them with me, right? I used to take them. This when I was low riding and stuff. They was young.
On the
I throw
real.
them all in the car. The little homie Musket Ricky from the Nine Boys. But
On the
me and
real.
Squeak had a special bond. Me and Tone had a special bond. And actually me and Rick had one. But I used to keep Squeak with me because I used to like to stay in his ear. And because you know what though, Squeak was a good kid, but you could see him getting off that porch. You could see him getting off that porch. And I tried to intervene on that, man, but it just was embedded in him. So I figured to keep him close, I can keep him safe. And that's what it
Right.
was. And it just formed like a father and son bond. You know, we go through our little times when we mad at each other, but we ain't never hated each other. It'll never
No,
be
is
like that.
the reason why it was deep to me is because I spoke to y'all at separate times, and Squeak was like, "Man, dude, like a pops to me." And then when I spoke to you, it was like, "Man, that's like my son." So I know y'all got a cold little bond, even
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So that's real. So that's why I was like,
Man,
man, that's deep. You know what I'm saying?
look, Stone. Look. Everything he's saying is real, man. That dude stayed in my ear. He kept me out of trouble. He kept me at his pad. I'm talking about we in campers going to shows. Nigga, we doing everything. Like, nigga, we in look. Nigga, I never forget when he had that white lowrider. Nigga, we on foothill. He swang, nigga, the 3-wheel. Remember Rambo? We on foothill and Pierce. You swang. I'm like, woo. I'm leaning to the side. I'm like, oh man. Like, with Rambo though, you gonna get good times, homie, for real. You feel me? You gonna get the real. Just like he said, you know, everybody go through something, but nigga, the love is always there. You feel me?
That's
The
cool,
love
man.
always
That's
there.
cool.
Like,
man. Squeak, I hope you don't mind me saying this, but I'm gonna tell you when Miss Gill passed away, and
you the first one I seen.
remember because they contacted me to get to you because nobody knew how to get in touch with you. His family
Yep.
contacted me to get to him because they knew I would know, and I didn't. It wasn't my place to
Ah,
tell him what was going on. I just sent him
right,
home. You know what I'm
On
right.
the
saying? It
real.
wasn't my place to tell him. I just sent him to the house, and I said I'll get with him later on to make sure he's okay. And I made sure he
I,
got to the house, man. And from that point on, even then, I started having huddles with him and started training. Man, look, your brother and your sister, that's your number one priorities right
on the
there. And I
real.
stayed on him about his sister.
On the
I
real.
stayed on him
On the
about her
real.
because she was a female.
On the
You
real,
know.
you did. Hey, I could look, and you brought that up, and I remember that day, like, nigga, you pulled up on me. You said get in. You didn't really say too much, but then you also said go find your little brother.
Mm.
You feel me? I remember that,
Yeah,
nigga, and I appreciate that, nigga. I love you for that, nigga, for real.
yeah, yeah,
That's deep, man. That's real
yeah.
deep, man. So damn. Rambo, when did you get your first lowrider?
I got my first lowrider in 86, 80 between 86 and 87. It was a candy apple red Regal. The only car I ain't got no pictures of, but a candy apple red Regal. Uh, I was an amateur. Almost blew me and the homie Bone up.
On the real. Hey,
Then
hey,
Redbone
man.
start sniggling like he
Hey,
remembered
hey,
something
hell
about it.
yeah,
What happened,
yeah, hey, man,
Redbone?
because
Yeah,
we was young. I remember when he got it. We went to the
yeah,
we when he got it. He picked me up. We ended up at the Fila shop at the Arco. Everybody know about the Arco and Van Nuys and Glen.
Man, shout out to
Everybody
the
know about
Fila
the Arco
shop.
and the Fila shop and all that. So for some reason, he was trying to hit the switches, and the motherfucker locked up one way. And next thing you know, smoke started coming everywhere. Man, we thought that motherfucker caught on fire, bro. I ain't gonna never
man.
forget that shit.
You,
First
you know
lowrider,
what
man.
you know what it was. it was some jumper cables in the trunk, and when I hit the switch, it was jumped up, and they arced out on the batteries. One hit a positive, one hit a negative, and it just
Ooh.
fried all my solenoids. And
Nigga,
that's
we
what
thought that
the burning and the smoke was. But it looked like the fire department was going to have to come.
on the real.
Hey,
For
hey,
real,
and
homie.
we left out that Arco was side to side before motherfuckers even had it, because I didn't know how to fix it. I'm going down the street crooked. But I was only about shit at that time. I was only about 18 years old, so I was the man to me, you know.
Huh.
Hey, yeah, you know.
That's
So it
huge.
was
You got a
cool.
low rider at 18. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
Bought it from the
Shit.
homie Siggy. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, okay.
zigzag.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
But hold on. Who put it together though, Rambo?
Tuffy.
Okay,
Tuffy
okay,
actually the one that put that together, and
okay.
sold it to Siggy, and then I got it from Siggy, and I ended up selling it to you remember Lil Drac stayed on the same street as Herman Cox, like right across the street. Drac, the little homie, he from OBG, little short Drac. Used to be with Warney and them. I ended up
Oh,
selling it to his
oh,
little brother. He had a
oh,
brother
oh,
named
okay,
Bear. He had a brother
okay,
named
okay.
Bear. I ended up selling it to Drac and Bear after that.
Right.
yeah.
You know.
Okay. So
Yeah.
now you mentioned Tuffy. I remember him. He used to have the 510s though. He wasn't he known for the 510s?
Yeah. That's what
It
he was known for. Him and Sonny. But yeah,
it was a lot of them though.
and
It was
it
a
was a
lot
But
of you
yeah,
lot
it
of
was
them.
a
cats.
But
whole
yeah,
year.
It was
yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
them.
Was you was in that you had you one too, huh?
I was in that because what happened was Tuffy had one, Sonny had one, Willie Chandler had one. My brother didn't have his yet. I got mine actually before my brother. So I ended up buying
Hey,
my
hey, hey,
first
hey,
one from
hey, hold
Sonny.
on. And Louis Mendez, even my next door neighbor, he had one.
Yeah, yeah. And it was a lot of people. John Austin. It was
Okay,
actually more
Yeah,
okay,
you
Big,
see them
Greg
510s.
Taylor. You know what I'm saying?
okay,
Kevin Boyd. It was actually a lot of
okay,
them. But
okay, okay.
It
but
Shout
was.
I
out to
ended
the
up buying
homies.
my first one from Sonny. I bought that
Them
first one from
motherfuckers was
Sonny.
popular.
Oh
Man,
yeah, hell yeah.
them little
Yeah,
510s, man, that's
Oh,
all you see. And
yeah.
it must be speeding. Boom, boom,
Hey,
boom.
hey, hey, Squeak.
Huh?
This is the first time I experienced making the homies mad at me, and there's been a lot since then. But I took this car, Squeak, because look, and I'm gonna show you some pictures of it because I got some pictures, Squeak. I'm gonna show you one day. But the car, when
Okay.
I bought it, it was a nice burgundy red. It had a nice burgundy red on it, right?
hey, hey, for real, for real.
See,
He ain't
look.
lying. For real. Listen
But
to this shit.
I'm gonna tell you, Gilbert up in San Fernando painted it, and what happened was he threw a few different reds together. You know what I'm saying? He mixed them up, and he came out with that red, but it was like a deep red burgundy. It was nice. But when I wrecked it, he couldn't duplicate that color because he had it was some shit he threw together. So Tuffy had just I don't know if his car had just got stolen or
Well,
wrecked,
yeah, Rambo.
but Tuffy had a blue one. I think he got wrecked or something. Anyway, he ended up painting it orange. Okay. And I liked it the blue that he had on his, and it was a royal blue. So I ended up painting mine that royal blue because I couldn't get that red. Man, I
Right.
brought that car back to the hood. They was hot, especially Big E. To this day, Big E still talk about that. Big E was hot. He said he wanted to cap my shit up. You know what I'm saying? He was hot. He was hot. But
Then you put a black
I
top
put
on
that
it.
black Phantom on it with that sunroof. I put an electric
Yep,
roof up in
yep.
there. It was all
Man,
right.
All that
It was all right.
shit.
That
yeah,
was
hey,
actually my first car that I ever owned was that 510.
right.
Hey,
So that was before the
What
low
year
ride.
is that,
That's what
Rambo?
I was gonna
That
ask.
man, everything happened
Well,
in
what year?
like 80,
What?
86, right after high school. I bought like three
Okay.
cars that year. I bought that 510. Then I ended up buying no the matter. I'll take that back. That Regal was in 87. Because in 86 I bought that
Okay.
510
Okay.
and I bought that black coupe I had. I bought that black coupe and then I bought a truck all that same year. I fresh out of high school. You know that I had remember them Isuzu trucks, the Isuzu pups. And I
Yeah.
had one of them. I had one of them back in the days. And me and Lil Eve about that. Me and Lil Eve was coming from Panorama City, and we flying up Terabella, and we hear some loud music. It's a party over here. And it was a Mexican party, but you remember back in the days, you could just pull up. It wasn't no issues with nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we hear the music, and I look. I'm like, oh, it's a party. Lil Eve, I had a cassette player in there. Lil Eve bending down like this, messing with the cassette player, trying to get the music going, and he look up, and all he yells is, "Stop!" And before I knew it, I was in this dude's back pocket. Boom! Brand new Eldorado. Brand new Eldorado.
looking at the hey, I did some similar shit. I did some similar shit right there in front of at Jamurl house, Richie Rich little brother.
Oh,
I'm looking at him. I'm in my mom's car. I'm just supposed to go to the car wash and home, but I go riding through the terrace trying to, shit, I'm like about 15, 16. I go riding through the terrace. I'm looking at Jamurl and end up going right up his driveway and hit the light pole right there. I had to go home and tell my I was shook. I couldn't believe I told mom's car up like that. I did some similar shit though. You don't be feeling it move. You don't be feeling the car move, and you be moving. And then boom. But yup. So damn. So what high school did you go to? Did y'all go to high school together, Bone and Rambo?
Man, we went to I think no, I went to Fernando with him, but I went to them all. Damn near all the schools out in the valley, homie. Fernando, Kennedy, Monroe, Cleveland. Everybody know what Cleveland was about back then. Oh man.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I followed behind RedBone at Cleveland, but when I started off at San Fernando, but I was only at San Fernando for maybe a month or two, but I ended up at Crenshaw. A lot of people don't know I went to Crenshaw. And this was in that 83, 84 year. And I got to messing up early at San Fernando, and mom shot me out to LA to Postpad. So I ended up going to Crenshaw. That was a cool experience, man. It kind of helped me. It kind of helped me understand more about who we was taught to be our enemy was. And I ain't talking about just like Crips. I'm talking about just like city cats in general. It helped me kind of understand that because I had became friends with some of them cats out there, and they actually, kind of looked out for me. They probably wondering where I'm at now because I ain't seen some of them cats since high school. But I used to hang around, and I had to hang around all Crips because where I lived at, that's who it was, number Crips. And for a while, they didn't know I was a blood, but then when they got up on it, they was already like, man, we already been cool with you. So they just left me alone.
Who hood you stayed in?
I stayed. You know what? It's crazy because I stayed right there on the borderline of the 40s because I stayed on 49th and Halldale between Western and Norman. So you had Normandy to the left of me and Western to the right, but I'm on the corner of Halldale, and then you got Dinker right there. So
you was in the 30s and 40s.
So everything behind me was gonna be the 40s. You know what I'm saying? I believe. And then everything in front of me, it ended up. I think the 60s ended up taking over that area because I really don't know. The cats I dealt with was the Catwalk Crips. They was called Catwalk over there off of 54th and Western, over by either 53rd or 52nd, one of them streets right there in Western. And I believe all them cats ended up turning 60s, if I'm not mistaken. But they was the Catwalks, and that was my only time ever hearing about the Catwalks. But I'm going to school with them every day.
So you were with some real dudes that was out there doing things, huh?
Yeah. Shit,
That's way out.
I should have walked over there to the BNG.
That's crazy though. You went to Crenshaw though. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? Crenshaw was cool, man. I ain't gonna lie. One thing I can say, they got a good educational system. A
Right.
real good one. You know what I'm saying? And
Oh wow.
but it was cool. The only thing different for me is coming from San Fernando and then coming from Pakoima, everything was a red city. And then I go to
Right.
everything is blue. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
that was the only difference. I had a little partner from Swans that went there too. You know, anywhere you go, if it's another blood in the area, for some reason, y'all gonna find each other. And me, him, Earl hooked up, and there was another cat named Mike from out the jungles and shit. Mike didn't really bang, but he grew up in the jungle, so that's all he knew. And
Right.
but Crenshaw was cool, man. It was different, but it was cool.
That's
I
cool,
bet it was
man. That
different. Hell yeah, it was
like you
different.
said, it made you where you probably that's probably why you know how to mingle with different cats though, because
Yeah,
you already was doing it from a young age and
Yeah.
stuff. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Hey,
Yeah.
been doing that
So
shit
that's
You
for a
know,
cool.
cause
You've been
long
you've been
time. Long
you've been
time.
you've been getting out and interacting with other people and you feel me, other hoods and shit like that. So you feel me?
yeah,
That's what's up.
You know, the one of the things too, and a couple, I can't remember their names, but it was a few cats from the '60s I used to hang with too. But I can't remember them cats' names. It's been so long, over 40 years. But
Look,
the, go ahead.
now look, this is what I wanted to ask. Was it any besides them dudes? Because you know what Crenshaw is, that's what between the VNGs, the 40s and all that. Was it a lot of
yeah.
brims there?
A lot of who?
A lot of brims?
I'm gonna tell you, if it was, they was quiet. Like I say, Bloods normally find each other. They didn't
Right.
find me. I didn't find them. I met one dude from Swan and a dude from the jungles up in there. But other than that, I didn't know no more Bloods, man. You really couldn't walk around flashing like that, even though where it was sitting at, it was sitting more because it kind of sit real close to the V and Gs,
Right.
you know. But the Rips had control of it. You know,
Right.
that's just what it was. You know.
So just to get deeper on it, you know me, my brain, my brain move a little different sometimes. So just to get a little deeper on it though, don't you think like when it comes to like banging, don't you think, all right, or how do you feel about do you feel banging took a wrong turn when it became more about the color schemes than the money? You understand what I'm saying? Like, because it seemed like as black people, we kind of mess the money up sometimes because we be so hard to go on, but he wearing blue or he wearing red. So it's like we should be able to get money. We messing up our own economic system though sometimes just on that instead of figuring out how to work with each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It just depends on the individual. For me, money helped me deal with everybody. I didn't really trip off the colors like that no more because
For
early
real.
on,
It's
believe it or
not
not,
lying.
early on, I started getting money with Rips before I really was getting money with the homies. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Because not saying that it wasn't a lot of homeboys hustling, but it was hustling different. You know what I'm saying? The Noms wasn't fully blown out as the money hub for a long time, in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? We had to build
right,
that up. But I was
right.
going down there to the projects dealing with cats. And then I got my peoples, right? My people fly from 190, Delamo Crip, East Coast. I was going with him. We was hanging out on Sepulveda, man. This was back in I was still in high school, so this is about 85. And we was hustling up and down Sepulveda Boulevard. So I was already down in Sepulveda hustling, me being who I am from Pakoima, and my peoples was a rip, but he made sure I got a pass. So that right there made me look at red and blue a little different. Now, if
Mm,
somebody's coming at me as an enemy, then I'm gonna treat you as an enemy. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? But
right,
you
right.
show me respect, I'm gonna show you respect. You know what I'm saying? That didn't, but like I said, when you in the hood, you do as the hood do. So I knew how to play my position anywhere I was at. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like uh a little messy. I tell y'all that lady Messy got a little saying that he said about me. Little Messy called me the only Crip from the hood. That's what Little Messy called me.
Hey, hey, let me say this though. He is one of the first homies that really did go outside the pocket, go outside the scene, and get that money with other people. On the real, he did
You
do that.
and then like I say, hanging with Fly like that, and cause I met a lot of his homeboys, and they was all older than me. Geez, from 190, and my brother, my brother put that in me. You know, my brother had
Shout
linked me
out to
up with a
Boo.
little cat.
Shout out.
He linked me up with a little
Yeah.
cat that was a rip, and he gave me the rope on how to handle it. And so to answer your questions, man, it's to the individual. If you're gonna allow
Mm,
a color to mess up your money, you know what I'm saying, and destroy the rest of your life, that's on you.
right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right, right.
Some people don't care about making money. Some people content with whatever. Me, I always understood money was survival. You know.
Right. But I'm glad you said it like that because I feel like a lot of youngsters need to hear that, man. You know, you need to get back to if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And then
Yeah.
that'll change a lot of, you know, because if you just doing it just for the simple, oh, because he wearing that color or whatever, or he live over there, it's like we never gonna be able to you know what I'm saying, to function and it keeps us other cultures scared of us at the same time. They're like, damn, if they do that to their own, you know, what would they do over here? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Yeah.
we gotta be able to, we gotta be able to get to be able to get money, you know what I'm saying, and figure out
Yeah.
how to like I say, we want to sit at the table. You gotta know the etiquette to sit there. You know what I'm saying? It gotta be, a etiquette, a certain way to sit there. So just getting deeper on it. Like I say, my brain move weird sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I want to get into the snitching aspect of it. But Big Meech and 50 Cent fell out, man. 50 Cent put all that money. Like he said, that Big Meech's family made like $5 million from dealing with him. He put his son through acting school, did the story on their life and everything. I tune in. I like the being, man. I watch it. Do y'all think
Yeah.
it was disloyal for him to get out of jail and go try to do something with 50 Cent's enemy, Rick Ross? How y'all feel? Was that disloyal? Or should he have been able to go get money with whoever he want to once he a free man?
I'll say this. I'll look at it like this. Like I said, it's a slippery slope. If him and Rick Ross had a relationship before Meach went to jail and they was just continuing that relationship, that's one thing. But the whole time you've been in jail, this man ain't reached out, ain't did nothing, ain't helped nobody out. Then I feel like that is a slap in the face to 50. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to realize $5 million ain't no chump change. You know what I'm saying? And your son could have went your route because you can best believe he had it in him
Mm,
because of the stories of his father. You want to emulate that. Uh, to a certain degree, I believe, but like I said, we don't know the backstory of how Rick Ross and Meeks knew each other, or if they
right.
had a relationship at all.
That's a
But if
deep
if it
take.
was
That's a
if
deep
it
take.
wasn't no relationship there prior to all this, I think it's kind of a slap because you got to look at, man. He set that boy's son up for life. You know,
Yeah.
and it ain't that you went to my number one enemy. Now, if he probably would, you remember when 50 Cent and Fat Joe was having a little issue.
Right.
So you
Yeah.
figure if Big Meech was dealing with Fat Joe, 50 Cent probably wouldn't have took it so bad because they didn't talk since then. We
They
ain't best
squashed
of
him.
friends,
Right,
but
right, right.
we didn't squash it. But this dude, this is ongoing today. We was arguing yesterday, and today you took a picture with him. You feel what I'm saying? So I would have weighed that out. I can understand
I,
Meech is used to being his own boss, but that was 20 years ago. This is a different day.
yeah, it's a different day.
You know,
Yeah, yeah, you can't just
that
do
that's
that.
my take on that.
What you think, Squeak? What you got, man?
You hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's yeah, like I said, man, that shit crazy because 50 different, man. 50 when if he beefing, he beefing. Like Rambo said,
I don't
until
know
he
if it's something
squash
on my end.
feel me? Until he
I'm
squash
looking
it.
at
But that
Bone right now.
I don't Stone, you feel me? I feel like Rambo on the whole thing, like that's a slap in the face, man. You feel me? Like nigga, we were just shooting shots at each other. Now you posting, talking about this and that. Nigga, and you made a whole video with this guy. You feel me?
Man.
So you feel me?
And
So you know, and 50 takes it to the heart, man. You feel me? So
he do.
you feel me? So that's why 50
He be
bringing up
get
all that shit on the boy now. You feel me? So
So
yeah,
yeah,
that was
all
disloyal.
kind of shit coming out now. It was. I
Yeah.
feel it was disloyal too. I think we got a unanimous. I feel it was disloyal too, man. And
Something ain't
then
right there, Stone. Something ain't right.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
something's going on. You feel me? Shit.
You can't do that when you get out.
Loyalty.
Go link up with a dude that I've been beefing with like that. You know what I'm
Not your
saying?
number
Then
one.
not your
Loyalty,
number
bro.
one enemy like
Loyalty.
that.
Loyalty,
And then
homie.
the car show that him and Rick Ross was supposed to do, I heard that ended up falling through. Like when
That was
Rick
a
Ross
concert. That was a concert they was
a
doing.
That was a
concert or something,
concert.
it ended
Yeah,
up falling
50
through, right?
shut that shit down. 50 shut that
Yeah,
shit down.
yeah.
50 shut that shit
Somebody
down.
did.
Hey,
Yeah.
Stone, you know
You know,
50,
and the
50
thing about it,
play 50.
if you follow Big Meech's story, he was big on loyalty. He should have
Man,
understood.
he
Yeah.
should have understood that. He put his
Hey,
Yeah,
chips
Stone,
in the wrong basket. What up?
look,
yeah, yeah.
you know how 50 play. That nigga bought Ja Rule concert out so nobody could show up. So you feel me?
On the real.
That nigga gonna
I
cancel
can't hear
his shit.
none of that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's a cold one, man. I knew I I felt that way. I felt it was definitely disloyal, man. And it was and shit. His son felt it wasn't right too, because his son text 50 Cent like, man, I don't do this. You know what I'm saying? He offered my dad bread and he jumped on it or something. And 50 put the text out there, like, oh, that's cold, man.
Well,
So
see,
Even him explaining that the dude offered his pops bread, 50 looking at it like, but what about all the bread I'm dumping into y'all? Okay, so
man,
he offered him a little couple of crumbs. 50 counting that 5 million. He looking at, okay, he might be giving him a few 100,000, but I gave you 5 million. So it don't matter what he doing.
we supposed to have another season of your story.
You know? So hope, hopefully something happened good
They
and they
got a
can work it out, you know?
That's what
they got a
I was saying, man. I was like, man, but nah, something tell me like Squeak said, 50 could get petty with him, man. I don't think he gonna mess with him no more.
50 petty as
well,
fuck, man.
I'm gonna tell you that. There goes Squeak. I can see Squeak now. Hey, I'm gonna tell you though.
Quiet as kept. People don't know, but Kanan is making more money than BMF. So he'll rather keep pushing Kanan.
That's my
Hey, I
favorite
like
show right there.
that
Yeah,
show. Hey, old girl is cold.
yeah.
My what's her name? Rock.
Rock, Rock.
Rock is cold, man. She
Nah,
cold.
the unk is cold. Jukebox Dad, that nigga,
Jukebox dead, huh?
that nigga is
Nah.
cold.
Yeah, 50 got some cold little series out,
Yeah.
man. I was mad the one with Mary J when and Method Man and then went off.
Oh,
I'm like,
that was
God,
original
dog.
power, wasn't it? That was the original
No,
power, wasn't it?
that was the second one. Go, that was his son, Tariq. Remember the original
Oh,
one was
yeah.
just called Power
Yeah,
with
you're right.
yeah,
That
with
was a
Amari
spinoff.
Hartwick.
Yeah.
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 But shit. Yeah, that shit was cool. Like he had like the whole little Power universe. I didn't really like the Tommy one though. That one didn't really hit for me like that.
Yeah.
Man, I thought I was the only one that felt like that. Man, I did not like that one.
It was
I
moving
did
Nah,
too
not.
fast. It wasn't making sense.
it
Right.
started not making sense. Like, damn, you just kill up everything. Like it was just like he just everything gotta go. Dude was just killing up everything, and it never and the police can't never catch him or nothing. So it just got to where it was just like this one I ain't even that much into. But like you said,
Yeah.
that Raising Canaan and the second one, Ghost Part Two, like yeah, those was hitting though. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm regularly tuning in to them mugs, man. But yeah, he could get real petty, man. With so I don't know what Meech was thinking about with that, man. But
Meech just
like you
fucked
say,
off BMF. He just fucked off
hopefully,
BMF.
Yeah.
hopefully
And
they could
and a
hopefully they could
lot
figure
more.
something out.
That ain't it. It's a whole bunch he messed up, man. You know, man, it was a lot to come, you know. So hopefully, put it this way, 50 got enough money. See, people looking at it like 50 gonna just blow his own money. Dog, when you got money like 50, you don't know what you're missing. So
Mm.
by him not letting the show go on, he ain't feeling that, man. He move on. See, and then a guy like that know what else to invest in. Okay, well, I could have made 100 million off this, but I got this over here. I can make 100 million off. Average person to
Got
say,
this
well, you could
show
have
over
made
here.
200 million. Nah, I'm good with this 100 million. You know,
Yeah.
so he know what he doing. He ain't tripping that money.
Yeah, of course.
You know.
But yeah, man. So we so when so Rambo so you used to do a little DJing in the hood, huh? How did that start?
Yeah.
You know, my mama, and what I mean by my mama always used to let me throw parties in my apartment up in there, and she used to always throw parties for her and her friends. So what I used to be able to do when my mom would throw the party, you remember you just had the one turntable with the needle, and I was pretty fast at what I would do, and I was young, and she would kind of help me figure out what song she wanted next, right? She wanted to mingle with the crowd and, you know, dance and, you know, have her little fun. So she would let me play the records. So I would have to change them real fast, and I got real fast at doing it. So I kind of like, you know, playing the records for her. And that was my first little niche, you know. And then L Cool J, radio. He had the two DJs. You know what I'm saying? And so what I did, I end up when my mom's ended up doing, she ended up getting a new record player, and so she gave me her old record player, and then me and my brother had a stereo system in our room. Our stereo
Wow.
system was the one with the turntable and the radio attached to it, all in one, right? The other turntable
Right.
she gave me was just a turntable. I used to come on when I went to Cleveland High. I would go to Radio Shack in the mall every day and ask the guy, how much is this mixer right here? I saved up the exact amount with the tax and everything, right? Went and bought that mixer, but how I had to work it is by this one over here having the radio and the turntable, I had to put the knob in the middle between
Mm.
radio and stereo to make it hook up to the to be able to connect it to the mixer. And shit, I started scratching up records like that. And then hustling, I was able to give you some turntables. Herm Dog sold me my first set of turntables. Yeah.
I
Damn.
remember we used to be I remember upstairs, hey man, we used to be upstairs at his mama house. All he
Hmm.
stay in that goddamn room. doing mixing and you trying to. We really
Yeah.
thought he was gonna be a fucking DJ. Excuse my
You,
language, but
you,
yeah.
you know what it was? It was a few of us up in the Noms that did it. Me, Eve,
Okay.
Stevie Coleman even tried to mess with it for a minute. Uh, DJ Pierre, or people know him now as G Principal, was in it. I think even T. Roof probably tried to mess around a little bit too. But what happened was me and Pierre started linking up, right? Me and Pierre started
Mm.
linking up, and so I wanted Pierre to learn how to do beats. He was into the mixing at Herm Dog. Herm Dog had turntables and stuff too at his mama house. And Herm Dog and Pierre lived up and downstairs from each other. Pierre was downstairs, Herm Dog was upstairs. So I used to go to both their house and mess around. But what happened was I brought Pierre to my house, man, and me and him started talking about building a little more than just a DJ group. We wanted to get on a record label and put out some of the homies that rapped. And so that kind of
G
took me away.
Principal, shout out.
Yeah, that kind of took me away from DJing. I still would do it, but I wanted to be a CEO at this time, and I think that was my downfall because I knew nothing about being a CEO. And but I kept trying and trying and trying, and I made some moves, but it wasn't all the right moves, you know.
Right,
Uh,
right, 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 right.
you know.
Hey, it. Hey, like they say, man, it should be looking easy, but then when you get into it, it's like, man, like I didn't know it was gonna be all this.
Hey,
So if it
Stone.
was easy,
That's
everybody be
inside the
doing it,
knobs. Stone.
huh?
That's inside the knobs. That's not counting
That's
outside. That's just the knobs right there.
Yeah.
We got a lot of
right.
DJs running through Pakoima, you know what I'm saying?
It, it-
Projects
it's
and all
it's
that
a lot
shit.
of. I mean,
John
the
Edward,
story go
Geo,
deep. Yeah,
shout out.
yeah. The
Come
story
on.
go deep, man. You got like I used to, man. Back in the days, Hamburger Man, right? Actually, not
Right.
Hamburger Man, but I used to be around them. But Daryl Richardson
Mm,
used to do parties around. You know, to this day, he still do parties. He had
right.
a he had a
On
he
the
had a
real.
house on the corner of Del Sur and Borden. He used to throw parties at his own house. And I used to sneak up in. I used to be with my bro Leo Malden, rest in peace. And Daryl would let me get on the turntables every now and then. And I was young. So Daryl would let me get on the turntables. Lemon Lime would let me get on stage and mess around at the rec, at the Lake Terrace rec dances. And
Wow.
King T actually showed me how to like transform and stuff at the Feeler shop.
Oh
You know, I
shit.
was up there at the Feeler shop messing with King T when he was T-Litin
Yeah,
then.
hey.
And
That's right.
yeah,
That's right.
we did a lot of
Hey, the
moving
Phillies
around,
shop was
man.
cracking, homie.
Yeah, the Feeler shop was cracking. You
So
The
know,
Phillies
so
shop was cracking.
how did King T? I remember King T did used to be in the hood. Why was he in the hood like that? Like who had King T in the hood?
King T is actually my mama and his mama went to school together. You know, he bounced
Oh,
back and forth from Pacoima to L.A. But so that's why he was in Pacoima in the Feeler shop and everything. It's just that him him and Scotty D got so tight, he became family to them. So and once Scotty D took him up under his wing, it became what he became. But at the time, you know, that's who he was messing with, Scotty and him, and they was all from Compton. So
right.
Scotty D.
huh?
Shout out to Scotty D.
Scotty D and them,
Yep.
yeah.
Shout out
So
to Scotty D, the Phillies
you know,
D.
but he can tell it better than me. But yeah, he from Pacoima,
Right.
you know.
Oh
At
shit.
least his family is.
And then J Ro ended up over there with the Philly shop crew too, huh?
Yeah. J-Ro grew up on the hill. If
Right.
you remember, and you know, but and J-Ro's another one, man. I used to I used to DJ for J-Ro for one day. Me and him had put a plan together. We had put a plan together for me to be his DJ. This worked way early on. This before he was with Taz and Rico. I mean Taz and E Swift. And but what happened was we was at his mother house in Sylmore, man, and we sitting at the table, and he's sitting there writing his rhymes. And he just looked at me. He said, "Man, you know what? Why don't we just start a group? Why don't you just start rapping?" But he was more serious about it than me. So we sat there and tried to write some stuff. I really wasn't good at writing because it wasn't on my mind like that. And so what I ended up doing, I didn't become his DJ and I didn't become a rapper, but I started hanging out with him. You know what I'm saying? And that got me in the door to start meeting a lot of people. That's when I started meeting. That's when I met Taz. I met E Swift. You know, we started spending the night at E Swift Daddy House in Mission Hill. And E Swift started teaching me how to work the SP12 and the MPC. And no, the MPC is what he taught me. Sean Joseph and Def Jeff. I don't know if y'all remember Def Jeff from New York. Def Jeff showed
Right,
me how to work the SP1200. You know, they had an MPC and they had an SP.
right.
Def Jeff taught me the SP. Taz was teaching me the MP. You know, so I was making beats for a minute, but I didn't. To me, I didn't have confidence in my beats. Few people heard them and liked them. I just didn't have confidence in them, so I never really pushed them like that. You know, Pierre was my beat man. If I needed for sure beat, I call Pierre, and Pierre get it done. You know.
Wow. That's deep, man.
That's what I'm talking about.
So was you around Lemon Lime when he had Jailbait out and all that stuff? You was hanging around him too then back then?
Well, that was kind of like after the rec dances when they was doing that. So I wasn't hanging around him so much then. But
Right.
But you know, lemon lime always gonna be lemon lime. You know what I'm saying? That's always gonna be everybody's favorite uncle. But so that's
Come
when
on, man.
they was moving out doing that. When they was doing that West Coast crew, lemon lime was busy. You know what I'm saying? So
Right,
I
right,
wasn't
right,
around him
right.
too much. But anytime he came back to town and he did something in the area, I was always welcome to come. You know,
That's
because I
cool.
was a lot
That's
younger than
cool.
lemon lime. You got to remember, lemon lime about in his 60s now. So he's a lot older than
Uh,
us.
right.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
why I say he's everybody's favorite uncle. You know?
Come on.
Yeah, man. Like we always try to give it up to him, man. On a lot of our shows, you hear his name come up just
Yeah.
because he should get his flowers as far as how he put it down, and then he came from the turf, so that's
Hmm.
so it's necessary to give him his shot outs, man. And then the
Yeah.
rec dances was legendary. I know y'all was in there getting it in the rec dances, man.
Hey, man. Man,
I know the
it'll
rec
never
For
be
dances was
real,
another,
homie.
man.
legendary.
It'll never be another. Them rec dancers was live, man.
Hey, 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 walking from the wreck, back, all that shit, walking to the hood, to the wreck. We did that. Gang of us,
Hey,
homie.
didn't have to worry about no, it
Gang
wasn't
of
no
us.
problems. Even the fights was orchestrated in a designated area. We used to
Come on,
after
man.
we used to be in the rec dance doing our thing, and that dance used to be crowded. I mean, you got to think about it. That rec was a nice size for some kids. It was crowded, packed.
Right.
But when we would leave, we had a certain things we used to do in a certain way we used to do it. We used to walk the our path would go towards the females' houses. Wherever the females live, it didn't matter if it was taking us off our route, but we was getting all the females home safe. One of the last females we used to take home was Tina Jackson, because Tina Jackson stayed right there on Borden. So she was the last female that we would walk home. But we used to walk Regina Boyce. Uh, you believe it or not, I even walked my wife home 30 years before I knew her. You know, because I remember the path she lived on the street, the same street with Robert Pettis and them, you know, flying them. So
Right, right,
we used to,
right.
like I say, our route would go towards the female's house as long as it's going, not too far out our way. And the last stop would be us and the Noms. And then you had a couple of the homies from the projects would have to finish walking to the projects. So RedBone would finish walking with them. He would jump off and then they would continue to the projects. But it wasn't no problems, no beef, no fights. Well, there's a couple fights, but for the most part, man, everything was cool. Everything was safe. Uh, that was a good time, that wreck.
Man, huh? That's how.
Oh,
Like
you
I
know
say, I
they
was
post.
too
You know
young to
they
go.
they about to give
Say it
another one
again.
though. Tank's supposed to be throwing a review. Tank said I seen it on the book. Tank's giving they having a reunion at the Rec. I think
Hey,
it's coming up sometime this
and
year.
it might end up being where you got a VIP. So if it is, you better get on board because that thing gonna be to
That would be
capacity.
epic. That would be
It's gonna
epic.
be to
That's gonna be
capacity.
nice, bro. They post that. I seen it, man. Tank was
Yeah,
here.
I talked.
Matter of
I
fact,
talked
you
to. I
know
talked
Tank,
to him
don't
about
you,
it. He really
Rambo?
excited. He really excited to bring it back to Pakoima. You
See,
know.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That would be epic,
That's what I'm
man. That
talking
would
about.
be pretty huge right there. I'm
That's the
old enough.
homie.
Yeah.
I'm old enough to go now.
Yeah. Hey, you know what?
Um,
You know what? That's one of the things that's crazy because me and Tank was talking, and I was explaining to him. I said, man, a lot of people gonna be trying to bring their kids because we all told our stories about the wreck to our kids. We want them to experience that. You know what I'm saying? I told him,
uh,
man, it's
uh,
liable to be
Come
extra
on,
uh.
crowded.
that's deep.
You might. I told him, I said, man, you might need to put some
That's
tents
deep
outside
right there.
or overflow or something. You know. But we're gonna see, man.
That'd be cool,
I
man.
think it's gonna be nice. I think it's gonna be nice.
I think
You
it will
know.
be. So shit, man. We So man, we right at we right at that hour, man. So um about that time we'll wrap it up. Um but nah, I appreciate you coming on, Rambo, and tapping in with us, man. You know we gonna do it again. We gonna get the full Rambo story, man.
Man.
I want to get your whole perspective, man. So we gonna definitely set that up, and I'm pretty
All
sure
right.
that's gonna be another epic one, man. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
we gonna keep bringing content, man. That the people want to see and hear, man. So just to put a better look to the neighborhood, man. Let everybody know it's not just about the banging and the gladiator shit,
The
man. We have fun out here.
negativity,
We
all
You
that.
know what I'm saying? We have fun. And it was cool to have
You know
you
what I'm
on
saying?
because
Yeah.
you don't have your story ain't just go to jail, come out gangbang. Go to jail, come out gangbang. Nah, you actually lived, did some things. So I think that's important for everybody to hear. You still kept it solid, but you wasn't, you know what I mean? But you did it on the streets. So salute to you for being able to do that, man. And
I
that's
appreciate
a
it.
big deal.
Man.
So nah, we appreciate you, man, in a
I,
real
I
way.
I appreciate y'all for having me, man. And like I say, y'all keep pushing, man. Y'all got a good thing going. And as I always say, Rome wasn't built in a day. Keep climbing. You know what I'm saying? You get to the top of that pyramid, man,
Unreal.
That's
because
right.
y'all got a pure show and it ain't about all the fugazi. You know what I'm saying? So keep pushing, man, and build this platform y'all got going, man. Squeak,
All
squeak.
right, thanks, man.
Appreciate it, homie. Appreciate it,
All
brother.
right, y'all.
Especially coming from you,
Hey,
man. You know.
so with that, man, we go end this session, man.